Hey everybody, welcome to the Robin Everyone Loves the Drake YouTube podcast videos here. We're continuing our Night Quest, the Crusade, I guess it's the Crusade, retrospective. This is part 9, even though the order is all out of order, even though there really is no order. And this is the 3-part Batman, Catwoman, Batman team up that was in Batman 503, which is called Night Quest, the Crusade. Catwoman number 6, which is called Night Quest, the Search, for some reason. And we saw that again where Detective Comics was the Search, even though it had nothing to do with the Search. And then Batman 504, which is back to the Crusade. So today we're going to look at Batman 503, and this is kind of a thick story. There's kind of a lot in it, so it may take a few minutes. And while I do this, my collection of Star Wars mugs will be kind of staring at us here, so you may see them in the background. But let's take a look. Let's dive into 503 here. And first, you'll see a Kelly Jones cover. Kelly Jones was doing the covers here, although the interior art is by Mike Manley. Colorist again, Andrea Roy. Pretty awesome. It just says artist, so I guess he's doing the pencils and the inks. But, you know, love Kelly Jones's covers. Draws like a cool cat here, cool fence, awesome background, awesome Batman. That could even be almost the Bruce Wayne Batman if it wasn't for maybe the red eyes and that little light glowing from his chest area. But not a huge fan of Kelly Jones's Catwoman. She just looks a little off and just like a little ugly. Catwoman's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. Even in this next issue, 504, it's just a little off, not so good. Now, Jim Balent, on the other hand, who did Catwoman for ages, I think he did like 100 issues, he draws just an unbelievably gorgeous Catwoman. All right, so 503 it starts out. Now, it calls Night Becomes Woman, and man, Jean-Paul, when I read this, he just gave me like a creepy stalker vibe, just like something wrong with him here, because he's checking out a warehouse. Doesn't really say kind of why he's at this warehouse, just happens to be at the warehouse, and he complains that the night's been boring, just a bunch of muggers, drunks, and dopers, and pimps, but now something interesting, Catwoman. And his internal dialogue on Catwoman is just so creepy. He says, you know, a living shade of raw, sleek darkness, vividly tantalizing. I mean, who says that in their head? She moves with grace through mystery, close enough to glimpse, too distant to reach. Then she's gone, leaving me fascinated. Just very creepy. So basically, he becomes smitten and totally falls head over heels over Catwoman because he saw her in his right eye magnify for 5 seconds. One of the interesting things here, which I didn't see a lot in some of the other books we've been reading, is they use a lot of vocal commands for his uniform, like line taunt, line retract. So that's kind of something different. And then as he speeds away, there's a newspaper, and the headline says "Trade Summit Terror." And you gotta wonder, is that just text or is that going to come into play? And then John Paul heads home, and he's still in the cave dreaming of Catwoman, and he even says maybe I'll dream about her. And then he just goes on and on about her and how Bruce Wayne might have maybe he did, maybe he didn't with her. Now here I like back in the Batcave, you've got some of John Paul's target practice, which was another issue, but I don't like Jean Paul there. He looks like he's like 45, or he's supposed to be a young guy. That doesn't look like Jean Paul at all. But you know, you got to expect a little of that in comics. And then lo and behold, news report, World Trade Summit, same as the newspaper, and talking about how there might be a terrorist disaster there. And so he wakes up and he starts heading out, and Asbat says that he did dream about Catwoman, and this is quote, "The dreams were shameful." So I don't know, maybe because he's from that religious order of Saint Dumas, or I don't know what, but that's also creepy for some guy to be like, I had dreams last night of a woman and they were shameful. I don't know, creeps me out. But anyway, here comes Gordon. Gordon's still got his suspicions about Batman. Tells him about all the terrorist stuff. A lot of reading. This is kind of thick, kind of hard to get through. Gordon doubts whether this is the real Batman. Batman says, oh, wow, there was a... Gordon tells him about a chemical, what was this thing called? Like Zyklon C. that is an extreme neurotoxin that just happened to get stolen from a warehouse. And what warehouse was it? The warehouse where Asbats was creeping on Catwoman. What a coincidence. So Asbats is like, how could I ever like her? She's a terrorist. She's going to kill everybody. And Gordon is like, I don't know about that. She's a criminal, but she steals stuff. She avoids people. This doesn't sound like her. And Batman's like, nope, I knew it. How could I have done that? And then we get a little bit here, an interlude of Gordon meeting with the mayor, who's still, Mayor Kroll's got that knife or letter opener, he was doing his nails with it last time. But anyway, so Mayor Kroll and Gordon have their little thing about how Kroll likes Batman. And so now Jean-Paul goes back to the cave, and he can't believe that he even liked Catwoman, and he starts, looking up her history. I like this, how they have the different Catwomans here, and like researched, and then you see he's talking about Bruce Wayne and says Bruce Wayne's over. Look, there's the entrance to the Batcave all sealed up, and Bruce Wayne is gone, but he's Asbats, and how could he have done this? And he's going to take Catwoman down. And then we cut to Catwoman watching the news, getting ready, lots of cats, silhouette, ooh la la kind of stuff. And Catwoman says, exactly, that's why I've got to steal some benzotrilene, which, everybody always says that to themselves, right? So here at Collision Course, Batman thinks that Catwoman is going to steal the chemical reagent that will make the Zyklon C deadly. So he goes to the 3 factories that would have it and puts motion sensors on their roofs. Oddly enough, Catwoman's plan is to steal a chemical that is like Zyklon C but not harmful in any way. So that way she can trade it with the terrorists. So what happens? She happened to be at the same factory, so she trips one of the alarms. Batman sitting in his Batmobile. I don't know what happened to that rocket car on the subway tracks. I don't know if he ever uses that again, but anyway, sitting in the Batmobile, deet, 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 it goes off, so he goes after her. Now this part kind of moves a little faster here. You have a little thing with Catwoman and Batman. They have their little talk here. Catwoman realizes very quickly that this is not the guy she knew. She doesn't know Bruce Wayne. At this point in the stories, Catwoman does not know Batman is Bruce Wayne, but she knows Jean-Paul is not the guy. And so then they have their little fisticuffs here. Batman kind of grabs her. They go back and forth. Catwoman does her flip and says she just, you never met someone like me. And then they kind of fight it out for the next couple pages. This kind of moves a little bit faster. Catwoman crashes down all these barrels on Batman, who Batman was planning to let her go away so he could track her, but now he's really going away. And she steals the chemical, runs out the door with the tank. Luckily, this factory has no security, no police presence, nothing. She can just grab a tank and run. And Batman is now on his search to get Catwoman, and realizes, just like my dreams, what does he say here? Just like, I held back in the warehouse, shamed myself, just like my dreams. Man, this guy's having some shameful dreams. And cool Mike Manley art, all basically leading up to Catwoman number 6, and then back again for Batman 504, which I don't know why Catwoman number 6 is now called The Search. Well, that one's called The Crusade, and The Crusade, I'll have to maybe flip through it and see. So next time we'll look at Catwoman number 6, The Search. I guess it's The Search for why it's called The Search, and not The Crusade. Like Catwoman right there. And hopefully this maybe will move. What's interesting though is, this was written by Doug Munch, and then this one is written by Joe Duffy. So I don't know if they collaborated and worked together and just took credit for their respective books, or if they each wrote apart. I'll be curious to see how the writing is kind of different on next time. So I know this video went over 9 minutes, but it's because this is just a thick book. So hopefully maybe the next book will go a little quicker. So see you next time on Night Quest, whatever part. I think it's 10. Bye.